Ellis worked at Catholic Charities of Milwaukee. For 10 years, from 2014 to 2024, she allegedly stole $1.7 million from a Catholic charity that feeds the hungry and houses the homeless. She allegedly used the charity's credit card at Amazon, Uber, Ticketmaster, and get this, at MGM Grand Casino in Las Vegas for 10 years. And every single year, an auditor signed off, gave them a clean opinion, said everything looked fine. That auditor was Baker Tilly, LLP. So when Tyler Bowyer tells you we pass clean audits, I need you to understand what that actually means. Let me show you something. This is the first page of Turning Point USA's audited financial statements filed with the state of New Mexico. It's public record, okay? Right here, it says Independent Auditors Report, Baker Tilly US LLP. This is the firm that the donors are told your money is accounted for. This is the firm that tells regulators everything checks out. This is the firm that gives Tyler Bowyer the ability to say clean audit so he can hide behind that. Baker Tilly, remember the name. Now, let me tell you what Baker Tilly has been doing for the last 13 years, because it's not what you think. 2007 in Wausau, Wisconsin, and sorry if I'm butchering that, a man named Kevin Prather is a partner at Baker Tilly. Now, this is 2007, okay? He's leading the audit of a company called Aqua Finance, a consumer lending business, good client, steady work. During the audit, Kevin Prather discovers something. Aqua Finance's loan loss reserves haven't been calculated correctly since 2005. So that's 2 years of bad numbers. That's material, okay? This is exactly what auditors are supposed to find. Prather found it and then did nothing. He didn't tell Aqua Finance, he didn't disclose it, and he didn't do his job. He waited 1 full year. February in 2008, the credit crisis is starting to get a little crazy. It's starting to bite. Companies desperately need access to credit markets. And now Kevin tells Aqua Finance their books at this time, 2008. So this is 3 years later, tells them, Aqua Finance, that they've been wrong for 3 years. Then Baker Tilly withdraws from the audit entirely, walks away, leaves Aqua Finance without audited financials at the exact moment they needed them the most. Aqua Finance had 380 employees in January of 2008. By 2011, 97. Imagine losing 200, 300 employees. I mean, that's crazy. That's putting people out of work, lost families' income, children that had to be on the struggle of families figuring out where to get their food and where to get their mortgage and rent. So by 2011, think about it, 97 from 380 in just 2.5, 3 years. Then May in 2012, a Wisconsin jury finds Baker Tilly negligent of $50 million over that Aqua Finance deal. Let that sit. $50 million because Kevin Prather knew, and Kevin waited and then bounced. Baker Tilly's official response: we believe the damages awarded in this case are excessive. Excessive? 300 people lost their jobs. A company was completely gutted, and Baker Tilly thought 50 million was excessive? They settled, of course, amount undisclosed. Exposed their own insurance company, kept operating as usual. Business as usual. What do you expect? No one went to jail. No one lost their license. Kevin Prather found the problem, hid it for a year, and Baker Tilly called the consequences excessive. Remember that. Now, in December 2014, Hong Kong, a man named Andrew Ross is managing director of Baker Tilly Hong Kong. Different legal entity than Baker Tilly US. I'll get to that, but same network, same name on the door, same international organization. It's a franchise of Baker Tilly. Andrew Ross is the leading audit of a company called China Northeast Petroleum Oil Company over in China, listed on U.S. exchanges. So it's a big client. The SEC later documents what Andrew Ross did. Andrew received approximately 2 days of U.S. GAAP training per year. And Ross never visited China Northeast Petroleum offices, never visited their field operations, and he never spoke to the CFO before signing off on any audit. So meanwhile, the CEO of China Northeast Petroleum, a man named Wang Hongjun, was allegedly funneling money to himself and his mother through 176 related transactions. $59 million. That's 41% of the company's reported revenue for that year. Gone, it vanished. Baker Tilly, China. Not the same US company, but definitely a franchise. Same name on the door. And Andrew Ross, who never visited, never called, barely trained them, gave him a clean audit. So the SEC sanctioned Baker Tilly at this time of Hong Kong. Andrew Ross was barred from practicing before the SEC for 3 years, fined $20,000, and his colleague Helena Kwok, who had never audited a US listed company in her life, was also barred. Now, here's where it gets interesting is at the time of this scandal, the CEO of Baker Tilly United States was a man named Tim Crisson. Crisson sat on the Baker Tilly International Board of Directors. And Baker Tilly International is the network that includes both Baker Tilly US and Baker Tilly Hong Kong. Now, remember, this is the auditing company of TPUSA. They set quality standards. They conduct reviews. They have the power to expel member firms. And after Andrew Ross's firm got sanctioned by the SEC for missing $59 million in fraud, after $50 million of Aqua finance negligence. So how long did Andrew Ross remain as managing director of Baker Tilly Hong Kong? 4 more years. 4 more years after $59 million in gross negligence. He stepped down in 2018 of December and he became a consultant to the board. Consultant to the board? What are you consulting, man? And Tim Crisson, the US CEO who sat on the international board during all of this, he became chairman of Baker Tilly International in 2017. I can't tell you Tilly US is legally responsible for what happened in Hong Kong. I can definitely tell you that when a member firm commits one of the worst audit failures the SEC has ever documented, and the response is to promote the guy who was on the board while it happened, that tells you something about the culture of that company. February 2024, Washington, D.C., the PCAOB, which is the federal board that oversees auditors, fines Baker Tilly US $80,000. And the violation was failing to communicate with audit committees and failing to submit document approvals to that committee. And that's basic auditing 101 stuff for a multi-billion-dollar company who's been working in this business for over a decade. This is an auditing company that is tasked with keeping companies from getting in trouble, with companies that might have negligent employees doing things that they shouldn't be doing. This is what Baker Tilly is supposed to be catching, but they don't. And it seems like it happens time and time again. So here comes January 14th, 2025. They're hit with $500,000. $500,000. At this time, it wasn't one audit. It wasn't one partner. It was the entire system. The PCAOB reviewed 12 Baker Tilly audits, and they found deficiencies in 10 of them. 10 out of 12 deficiencies? 10 out of 12 for a top 10 auditing firm in the US? This is what should terrify you, is that the PCAOB had warned Baker Tilly about these exact problems in previous inspections years earlier. Baker Tilly already knew, and the regulator told them to fix your quality control. 2018, problems continued. 2019, problems continued. 2020, 21, 22, 4 years of warnings and 4 years of the same exact failures, until finally the PCAOB dropped a $500,000 fine. And Baker Tilly is still a top 10 accounting firm here in the US, still auditing major nonprofits and still auditing Turning Point USA, still handing out clean audits like they mean something, right? That's what Tyler Bowyer is saying, at least. So I need to get back to where I started, because this is one that, it's kind of bothersome, and it's not a good thing. Especially TPUSA being a Christian organization and them auditing this Christian organization. Let me tell you what they've done with the Catholic Charities Milwaukee. So The Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Milwaukee fed people, they do feed people, they house people, they help people in the worst moments of their lives. When someone has nowhere else to turn, Catholic Charities are there. Every dollar they have actually comes from donors and from people who trust their money is going to help somebody in need. Okay? This isn't a company getting like tens and tens and tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars like TPUSA. It's a smaller company. According to a lawsuit filed May 9th of 2025, this year, Brandi Ellis allegedly stole $1.7 million from Catholic Charities. Over 10 years. So this is over 10 years that this person, Brandi, has been stealing money, allegedly. So let me tell you what the lawsuit says Baker Tilly actually missed. Amazon purchases on the charity credit card and charges at the MGM Grand Casino in Las Vegas, Ticketmaster, concerts and shows, all on the charity credit card, gambling, restaurants, what have you at the MGM Grand. Every year, every single year for 10 years, Baker Tilly audited Catholic Charities, reviewed their financials, checked their controls, and signed off clean audit, clean audit, clean audit 10 times. The lawsuit alleges, quote, failed to recognize clearly fraudulent purchasing activity, relied on internal documents generated by Brandi Ellis rather than independently verified third-party data. So they trusted the person stealing the money to provide the documents that she wasn't stealing anything. Can you imagine? Every dollar Brandi Ellis allegedly stole was a dollar that didn't feed a hungry family. Every dollar was a dollar that didn't house someone sleeping on the streets. Every dollar was a dollar that a donor, someone who trusted Catholic Charities, who trusted the auditor, will never get their money back. And Baker Tilly, still operating, still a top 10 firm, still auditing charities, still auditing Turning Point USA, still handing out clean audits. Why pay for this? Who pays for this? Why would TPUSA pay for this? This is a long-standing history of negligence on an auditing behalf. The donors, the vulnerability, the people who trusted the system, not Baker Tilly though, never Baker Tilly. They don't pay for this. So now I have some questions too, along with Wolves of Finance. And great job by him. He led me onto this. I don't have accusations. I just have questions. And I think that the questions deserve some answers, especially for the companies and people involved. And TPUSA should be doing good. And I've seen content floating around about how, we as Americans should be asking questions and shouldn't be fighting over it. It's actually, it was Zach from Wolves of Finance that said there's nothing more American than asking questions. And he's right. Tyler Bowyer says, we pass clean, independent audits every year. Did you know that Baker Tilly, your auditor, was fined $500,000 just in January of this year for quality control failures, Tyler? Did you know that they found deficiencies in 10 out of 12 audits reviewed from the persons that audits them, the auditor of the auditor? Did your board discuss this? Did anyone ask whether you should find a new auditor or maybe have a third-party audit like Charlie wanted? Or did you just keep going? Is there a reason for all of this? Are you using these people on purpose? This organization, Baker Tilly. Here's another question. The PCAOB warned Baker Tilly for 4 years that their quality control was failing. During those 4 years, 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22 even, Baker Tilly was auditing Turning Point USA. Were any of those TPUSA audits among the ones that were deficient? We don't know. The PCAOB doesn't name specific clients in enforcement orders, but someone should definitely ask, and I'm asking. Another question for you. Baker Tilly allegedly missed 10 years of embezzlement of a Catholic charity. Can anyone answer me why casino charges, Amazon shopping sprees, the whole gambit? What makes anyone confident that they would catch shell after shell and issue after issue if they were to be had through TPUSA? Because it seems to me like this web is super complicated, and an organization with over $100 million in revenue in 2025, with documented payments to companies operating from USPS, UPS store mailboxes with a $1,000 shy of $1 million paid to someone named Nicholas Miller, who can't be found, who actually doesn't even exist, to my knowledge, for research that nobody can find. That's for another video. $999,000 for research. Did Baker Tilly look into these payments? Did they verify that 110 LLC, run by a man banned from every major social media platform for marketing, actually delivered $4 million worth of digital advertising? Talking about Hoffman here from Arizona. Try to find him on Facebook. Did they knock on the door of the UPS store at 18521 East Queen Creek Road like Zach did from Wolves of Finance and ask where the office was? Because I don't think you can run $4 million out of a P.O. box and 3 public documented advertisements over years of existence with no changes to their website. Did you know that Hoffman ran 256 fake accounts all over Facebook and was banned for botting accounts for political adversarial methods? Bet you didn't know that. Or did they just sign that off too? And why Baker Tilly? Of all the accounting firms in America, and there are thousands, why did Turning Point USA choose the firm with a documented pattern of missing fraud? Was it the $50 million verdict for Kevin Prather sitting on bad news for a year? Was it the Hong Kong scandal where Andrew Ross never visited the company he was auditing? Was it the PCAOB fines that kept stacking up? What made Tilly the right choice for you guys? I want to know. Or were they the right choice precisely maybe because of that pattern? I'm asking the questions. I don't have the evidence to answer those questions, but someone should definitely answer it. So let me just lay it out, okay? 2007, Kevin Prather discovers accounting problems at Aqua Finance, waits a year to disclose, the company collapses. $50 million. Whew. 2009, Andrew Ross signs off on China Northeast Petroleum, never visits the company, missing $59 million in fraud and negligence. Gone. 41% of the entire company's reportings for that year. 2012, $50 million verdict against Baker Tilly. 2014, SEC sanctions Baker Tilly, Hong Kong. Andrew Ross keeps his job for 4 more years. 2017, Tim Christen, who was on the international board during the Hong Kong scandal, becomes chairman of Baker Tilly International. 2018 to 2022, PCAOB repeatedly warns Baker Tilly about quality control failures. Problems continue and they persevere. 2014 to 2024, Brandi Ellis allegedly steals $1.7 million from Catholic Charities, and Baker Tilly signs off for 10 years each year, one at a time. Okay? 10 years of clean opinions. February 2024, PCAOB fines Baker Tilly $80,000, and then in 2025, PCAOB fines Baker Tilly $500,000 with deficiencies in 10 out of 12 audits. Then in May of 2025, this year again, Catholic Charities sues Baker Tilly for missing 10 years of fraud. For someone to go to the casino and watch Netflix and chill, Amazon and chill. This is 13 years. This isn't just one bad partner. This isn't one mistake. This isn't bad luck. This is a pattern. Kevin Prather knew and waited. Andrew Ross never showed up. The PCAOB warned them for 4 years and nothing changed. Catholic Charities trusted them for 10 years and lost $1.7 million for people that were homeless, needed food in their mouths, and kids that probably had nowhere to sleep. And through all of it, the verdicts, the fines, the sanctions, the lawsuits, Baker Tilly keeps on operating, kept growing, kept signing. No one went to jail, no one lost their license for good, and the consequences were excessive to them. And the system just keeps trusting them. Why? So here's what I want you to understand. When Tyler Bowyer says, "We pass clean audits," those words come from Baker Tilly. When donors trust that their money is accounted for, there's a lot of donor money going into TPUSA. That trust is backed by Baker Tilly. When regulators look at Turning Point USA's financials and see nothing wrong, they're relying on Baker Tilly. So why is it that they are not pursuing a third-party Doge-style audit? Because that's what Charlie wanted, and I think he might have known about Baker Tilly's issues. The same Baker Tilly that Kevin Prather worked for, and the same one that Roth's firm for 4 more years worked with after sanctions from the SEC. The same one that missed casino changes, that missed casino charges on a charity credit card for a decade. The same one that had 10 out of 12 deficiencies reviewed by federal regulators. That's the foundation and that's the stamp. That's their clean audit. I'm not accusing TPUSA of fraud. I don't have that evidence, but it's not looking pretty good at all here. I've got a lot more backed up over here. This is just video one of this. So how can anyone trust a clean audit from a firm that spent 13 years demonstrating in public and in court on the record that they've missed fraud substantially? The documents are below. All the PCAOB stuff and all that thing I talked about, the court filings, the SEC sanctions, the lawsuit, they're below. Don't trust me. Go read them for yourselves. And then ask Tyler Bowyer, ask Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika Kirk, who now runs TPUSA, ask the board of directors, why after everything are you still using the auditor that misses fraud? What is a clean audit worth to you?